presenters turn on their cameras. This is just to help reduce the bandwidth consumption. The next instruction, and to do that, there is a red icon at your bottom left indicated turn camera off. You can click that and your camera should be turned off. The next instruction is about your microphone. We'll try as much as possible to minimize interruptions during the sessions and only have one presenter talking or speaking at a time. So with that said, please mute your microphone as much as you can. And to do that, the first icon indicated in red should allow you to mute your microphone. So we'll try to use the chat box to share feedback, your comments, share feeds, and we'll be tracking the comments as they come. In case you're struggling, you can easily reach out to me privately or throw a chat into the group, and we'll sort you out. Lastly, and gladly, Fatma, a lot of us have joined in properly. So my last instruction is around audio. In case you're struggling with WebEx, kindly go to audio and select call using my computer. Lastly, we'll be delivering today's webinar through WebEx and YouTube. And today's session will be recorded. That's all from me, Fatma. Many thanks. Fatma, you're on mute.
To start with. Okay, great. Good morning. Thank you, Haggai. Allow me first, before I introduce myself, to call on Bwana Moses Gitau, who will welcome us officially and then hand over back to me. Bwana Moses, over to you.
Thank you, Fatma. Good morning, everybody. To today's webinar, and I think just before we go to it, I would want Peter to lead us with a short prayer. Peter.
Thank you, Moses. Karibu team, and let's bow for a prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, this morning we want to thank you. We want to appreciate your goodness and your mercies for this new day that you've given us. As we start this webinar, we pray that you, together with us, guide us. The insights that we are going to share today, we pray that, Lord, you're going to help us implement, and we pray for success of our businesses. As we start, we pray that you guide us through. In Jesus' name, I do pray and give thanks.
Thank you, Peter, for that prayer. Now, let me take this opportunity to welcome our customers. I know we have a number of our customers, a number of them are in. Thank you very much for joining. And maybe if you have a friend that you are missing on the call, tell them they are missing it so that they can join. Number two is also to welcome our partners, IFC. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for doing this jointly with Cooperative Bank. I know I also have a number of my colleagues. Welcome also from Cooperative Bank. But before that is to ask ourselves why this forum, and I think from the bank perspective, and specifically for our customers, people who are invited here, the people you are talking to, we invited you because you are key players in this sector, the agri value chain, and the agri value chains of Kenya. As you know, one of the big four agendas of the government is food security, and I think you are part of those team, that group that will help the government in terms of achieving that the success of that big four. So you are a key stakeholder again in the bank, and that's why I invited you, so that as we discussed, we need to share and agree on how, when then we move forward. We need to pass on some information. We need to learn from each other. I think that's why we are key. We have been invited. And I think one of the key objectives then at a personal level, as a business person, is that Cooperative Bank, your financial partner, would want to share the solutions that we have we have for you. And we'll be discussing this. We also want to share the best practices. We are operating in very difficult times under COVID-19, but I think it's more one of the things that now we are saying is that is normal now, because we thought it would be a short time. We are now 6 months into COVID, and we believe now perhaps most of us have learned in terms of how do we live with COVID. Perhaps for us is to ask ourselves, then how then do we continue to impact on the communities we serve? How then do we continue to serve our people in this environment of COVID? We'll have 4 presenters today. And I think just to speak about the 4 is to say we have from Cooperative Bank, we have Esther, who is the head of Agri. I know, Esther, you're on the call. Maybe you could put your video on. Esther is the head of Agri, and I think she'll be sharing to us the value. What are those things that from her perspective, she has a lot of experience in terms of dealing with the agriculture and the agriculture value chains. What are those things that she's speaking out there? What support areas? What partnerships then do we have that will help us in terms of both upscaling ourselves and even helping the government meet its agenda 4. The second presenter is a person who is called James Duarte. Duarte is the head of MSME in Cooperative Bank. He does micro enterprises. He deals with micro enterprises. And I think one of the things that Duarte will be telling us is what solution does your financial partner, Cooperative Bank, have for the MSME? Because as an agrovet, as a person in that business, as a person in the agri value chain in your business, you are basically an MSME. What will be those things that Core Bank will be offering to support us on MSME? Then we have another presenter from Cooperative Bank, a gentleman by James Joseph Thiongo. And Joseph Thiongo, I don't know, Joseph, you're on the call. Maybe you could also put your video on. Joseph will be talking to us about how does Core Bank support you in terms of asset acquisition. He's the head of asset finance, dealing with motor vehicles and equipment. So Joseph Thiongo will be telling us how he supports us as a business in terms of moving your goods from point A to point B, in terms of machinery for manufacturing, all those things that perhaps you want to use as asset finance. And finally, and perhaps the first presenter will be Fatma from IRC, our partner from IRC. And Fatma, we've invited her because we have walked the journey with them since we started the MSME project. We have walked this journey with them in all our other webinars. And I think one of the things that we picked from them is that they have a lot of exposure out there. And they are dealing with people locally and internationally. And I think one of the things is that how then what are the other people doing out? What are the best practices out there? I think she'll be sharing with us the best practices for people in similar businesses, people in similar value chains. What are they doing for them to thrive in this environment? I think those are the things then that we'll be discussing. My request is that we participate through the chat box, ask as many questions that are there. Share your profile. I think we would want to know where you are calling from, so that we pick your feedback, give us feedback, even in the presentations for the bank and also from IFC. My name is Moses Getau. I head the business banking department of Cooperative Bank. I do support all the needs of the micro enterprises. That is rather the MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises. I do support all the needs, including the asset financing, the mortgage financing, and out of view. And those are the things that that my team will also be discussing. How then do we support you within this period? Over to you, Fatma.
Okay, thank you very much, Bwana Moses. That was a fantastic introduction, and as always, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to talk to wafanyi biashara wenzangu. Allow me to introduce myself a little bit before we proceed. My name is Fatma Elmawi. I'm a certified master trainer with IFC. What this means is that I train other trainers. I'm also a certified assessor with IFC. But the biggest thing that I like is the fact that I work with SMEs and we assist SMEs to grow their businesses. I mentor with the Sherry Blair Foundation, And I'm also a member of the National Industrial Training Authority, as well as a member of the Professional Trainers Association. Having said that, I'm also a farmer, and I am into poultry farming as well as vegetable farming. So this discussion is going to be good for both of us, for me as well as for you. Allow me to say that agribusiness in Kenya is dualist in nature. We have a small proportion of large-scale farms, but we also have a large proportion of SMEs. So today, we want to speak to both of them. We want to speak to people in agrovet, as well as agro dealers, the entire value chain that is here. One thing that I'd like to share is that according to the World Bank, that is their 19th economic update, they said that agriculture is still a major driver of growth for our economy. It is a dominant source of employment for most citizens. Having said that, it has undergone a lot of issues. It has undergone a lot of challenges. Now, before we go into that, I'd like again to recognize and appreciate the presence of my colleagues. I would like to appreciate Stella Masinde, who is here. I would also like to appreciate Haggai, who has just taken us through how we can have a very, very good and seamless webinar. I would also want to alert us that this meeting is being recorded and urge my fellow colleagues, make sure you have pen and paper, because we are going to share some best practices, and it is important that you catch what is being said. So without much further ado, Haggai, do you want to repeat the instructions again, or can I move on?
I think Fatma, so far so good. Say for a few who are not logged in properly, I think we can move on, and I'll support the few ones privately.
Okay, thank you very much, Haggai. I would urge us again, because our connection between us and you is through the chat box. So please do tell us where you're coming from, and also tell us what is the one key thing that you would like to take away with you today. There has been multiple challenges in agribusiness, both before and during COVID. Of course, we came from a situation where there were floods, we came from a situation where there were locusts, and COVID simply created a whole business environment. How did it do that? With COVID, we have seen high competition, we have seen decreased demand, insufficient as well as high cost of input. There has been high transportation and cost of doing business, limited mobility of goods and people, disruption of supplies for those who are importing supplies, maybe China, Uganda, Tanzania. There's been, you name it, and it has been there. For business people, some of the challenges had been the inability to meet our customers' needs due to insufficient products. And the biggest one of them, because demand has gone down, because purchasing power has gone down, we have seen challenges with our cash flow management, challenges with our liquidity, as well as finance, in order for us to be able to manage. And this is something that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about today. We want to look at tips that will help us to navigate, even though we have been advised that we may open in a couple, maybe weeks or a month. We still need not only to survive, the bank wants us to thrive post-COVID. So the tips we are going to look at is how we are going to manage in order for us to be able to grow. We would accept that things have changed. We want to identify our stakeholders' needs. We also want to look at how do we price, as well as how do we understand our lenders and people who are able to help us. So tip number one, it's about us accepting, whether we like it or not, the business environment has changed. And in business, when the business environment has changed, we need to take stock of what is out there. We need to know what else do we do? How else do we behave? For example, as you can see, the butterfly does not become a beautiful butterfly that flies. It starts with an egg and a larva. And the difficult period is when the pupae is trying to break off in order to be able to fly. That is a painful period. And that is the period that we are. But we need to break free for us to be able to grow. Because if the pupae does not go through that painful period, the pupae's wings do not become strong and it is not able to fly. So here we are. Let us accept that things have changed. Let us go through this difficult time. Having said that, with a plan for us to become those beautiful butterflies. So tip number 2 is about us identifying and understanding what are, number 1, who are our new stakeholders, okay? We identify them. And then number 2, you need to understand them. What is it that they want? Because if the environment has changed, they too may have changed. Our stakeholders, for example, it starts with the people who have invested in your business, maybe who have lent money to your business. They are worried, and they are worried whether their investments will hold true or they will lose their money. Now, for us, having understood them, we need to work backwards. Number 2, the management, your business, it also wants to know within this period of time, whether we remain the same, whether COVID stays with us, whether we move forward, how do we now run the business when things out there have changed, when business has reduced? Employees, they want to know if they're safe, they want to know if they're going to be paid. Customers want to know again, will you be able to provide for them or not? For example, if I am a customer and I want to know, will I be able to get my farm inputs? Will I be able to get my pesticides? Will I be able to get my seeds? How do I move? The other customers whom you serve want to know, will the vet be able to come and look after my cows? Will I be able to get my vegetables? Will my chickens be able to be vaccinated? So this is what everybody is worried about. Suppliers, because you have clients, but you also have suppliers. They too want to know whether you will buy from them because they need your business and whether you will be able to pay them as well. The authorities, they want to know if what is your business doing in order to minimize COVID. They also want to know what kind of a business are you? Can you be called upon in order to assist? And how do you assist? By maintaining production in your business, you are assisting. As long as you are working, you are also paying somebody else. You are creating the value chain. You are maintaining the value chain. That means the business cogs are continuing. Now, we need to adjust our perspective. Okay? So tip number 3, having appreciated that things have changed, having looked at our stakeholders, we must do what? We must now adjust the way we look at things. Why? Because things have changed. In fact, Bruce Lee tells us the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or the willow survives by bending with the wind. Ladies and gentlemen, a bamboo is a very, very strong tree. Because it's thin, but it's strong. We make furniture out of it. Lakini, when the wind is strong, it does not stand straight. What does it do? It actually bends. I come from the coast, and I have seen coconut trees also bending. Tell me, what do you think Bruce Lee meant by saying that the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo survives by bending. Kindly put this in the chat box. What do you think Bruce Lee meant by saying this? Thank you. Thank you very much. I can see, yes, flexibility. Thank you, Moses. We need to be flexible. We cannot maintain the same stance as we had. Remember, things have changed. We now need to change as well. Haggai, are you getting anything from YouTube?
Not yet, Fatma.
Okay, thank you. I can see someone is telling me you need to be adaptable. Yes, you need to be flexible. You need to be adaptable. You need now to look at the environment and again accept things have changed, appreciate that they have changed. Now that they have changed, what does that change mean to you as a business person? What does that change mean to you as an agrovet? What does that change mean to you as a farmer? Because remember, things have gone a little bit pricey, but we still need to survive. Having said that, let us now look at, now that we need to be adaptable and we need to be flexible, what does that mean for us? It simply means that what got you here, number one, will not get you there. The things that you did before, if you recall, when you started your business, you asked yourself, who is going to buy from me? Whom am I going to sell to? For the agrovet, what kind of extension services, if at all? What kind of chemicals? What kind of pesticides? What kind of seedlings am I going to keep in my shop for me to be able to sell? And the farmers looked and said, for me, I now need to grow tomatoes, or maybe I need to do vegetables and sell them. We even get things like Duma from very, very far places, not in Nairobi, that is brought in Nairobi for us to buy from the supermarkets. Now, as a farmer, for you to be able to bring your stuff here, somebody needs to transport those things. It could be you, it could be a marketer, somebody else who is within the value chain that actually brings the stuff from the market into Nairobi or Mombasa or elsewhere. So what got you here may not take you forward, or you may have to change a little bit. If you look at the third plank, that third plank is empty. It is now for you to consider the environment, okay, and then to say, within this environment, this is now how I am going to work. This is how I am able to proceed from here. We are faced with a situation whereby a lot of people are at home, but the markets are empty. Uptake of business is not as high as it was. Marketplaces have changed. Now, you can still hold on to what you had and you may still be able to survive, but what we are saying is be cognizant, be aware of what is out there and adjust accordingly. You may looking at linkages, looking at other areas, or even looking at other products, and that is what I would like us to go to. What it also means is that between these two bowls, we are all in one, and that was the old environment where we were operating from. But now we need to break free, like the pupae, and then go into new areas. Consider other areas that we can work on and other areas that can help us. It also means we may have to move into uncharted waters, and we are going to discuss those uncharted waters. But whichever way you want to move, what we are saying is you need to make this move in consideration with this new normal. because the new normal is taking cognizant of the way business has changed. So tip number 4 is basically, I want us to look at what are these new market opportunities that we can take advantage of. How do we meet our customers' needs? What is your value proposition? Whether you are an agro dealer, whether you are a marketer within the agribusiness value chain, or whether you are an agrovet, ask yourself this question. What is your value proposition, and why should somebody buy from you? So I want us to look at 4 things. In tip number 4, we will look at our customers, our product, pricing, and then how do we promote this new business? So number 1, let's look at our customers. Our customers still the same? Are they the same people that we had before? And if these are the same ones, what were their likes and dislikes? Have their likes and dislikes changed? For example, not many people go to the market. How do you make sure they still buy from you? Okay? What other customers can we take? Now that business has reduced, we need to increase market share. We need to increase our clients. If I am an agrovet, if farmers do not have a lot of business, farmers will reduce buying from me. So how do I make sure I still sell? Do I sell more to the same people, or is it now time for me to start looking for other clients? And these new clients that I'm looking for, how do I access them? What are their likes and what are their dislikes? These slides will be given to you because you will need to reflect and you will need to respond to these questions before you move on. The next thing I'd like us to look at is our product offering. Is your product offering or a service? Because not everybody in the value chain has a tangible product. Some of us within this value chain have intangible. We market products, isn't it? We transport products. So how relevant is your product? How relevant is your service during this period of time? Do you want to, maybe if I am doing mangoes, if I'm doing coconut, if I'm doing vegetables, if I am doing fruits, what value can I add to the current products that I have in order to attract new clients as well as higher returns? Do you want to consider processing some of the things that you have? Can you explore exporting? Okay, so do you want to do more of the same product, or do you want to have different products that you feel will service the same clients? Having said that, what adjustments do you need to make to your products, and do I need to diversify? If I was doing onions, do I want to do tomatoes as well? Do I want to do sukuma wiki as well? If I was doing coffee, do I want to sell it as raw coffee? And we are going to look at, do I also want to be exporting to new areas? Because remember, originally, even there was no air transport,
Hi Mary,
so
how
we
are you?
could not export.
This is Hagai.
Yes, Hagai?
Have you received the login instructions?
Okay, Hagai? Okay, thank you. So, if I'm doing tea, okay, well, how was I selling my tea before? How can I sell my tea now? If I was transporting, how was I doing it before? How do I want to do it now? So what we are saying here is take a critical look at the way you were running your business before and how, taking cognizant of COVID, how else, what else are the opportunities? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean we all have to do the same thing, okay? We don't all have to go. Remember that quail, what do you call it, scenario or period where everybody was doing eggs, everybody wanted to sell quails? No, you can only do this by looking at what strengths you have and what opportunities you will be able to take advantage of. So number one, understand your market dynamics, know your customers' preferences, employ flexibility, okay, and then take advantage of that opportunity. The same advantage, the same opportunity may not be applicable to two people. So let's not just follow, let us look what is out there and match it with what we have. I would also like us to rethink our pricing strategy. Originally, when we started with COVID, everything shot up, man. In fact, we were buying masks at 500. We were buying sanitizers at 1,000. Then what happened? It quickly came down because more people came into that space. But one thing for sure, if you increase your pricing and you gauge it so high, remember, you will still need these clients beyond COVID. You don't want them to say that you took advantage of them. And now, just as much as liquidity, pesa imepungua in the system, but it has punguad with clients as well. Okay? Now, if I want to make 100 shillings, I can make 100 shillings by selling to one person. I can make 100 shillings by selling to two people, but I can also make 100 shillings by pricing at 20 and selling it to 5 people. Again, look at your clients. Are they able to pay 100, or can you still make 100 or 120 by reducing the price? So pricing can either block your vision if you want to increase it too high, or it can propel your growth. Maybe you can panel beat it a little bit so that you are able to sell more. You can also look at your revenue, the total amount of money that you're getting through the facet pricing model. What does this I call it the diamond, 5, it's calling the diamond. Look at your customers. Are your customers able, number one, and willing to pay a particular price? Okay, you need to look at that. What are the features? Am I selling skuma? Am I selling potatoes that bado ziko na udongo, or am I selling potatoes that have cleaned them a little bit? Am I selling potatoes in sacks, or am I selling potatoes in maybe 20 kilo bags or 10 kilo bags? So this is what you also need to look at. But we must be cognizant of one thing. As you are thinking, so are the competitors. Competition is also thinking as well. Competition wants to take that same customer that you have. Remember, we want to increase our customers. We want to increase our market share, but so does your competitor. As they say, keep your friends close and your competition even closer. You need to know, what is your competition doing? How are they tackling the market? And at some point, we will look at it later, you may even want to collaborate, because this is something that we are all going through. What brand? I know a lot of people, maybe the farmers, maybe the agrovets, maybe the transporters, you think you don't have a brand. Let me shock you, you do have a brand. If you ask your client what they think about you, they will tell you. And that is what your brand says. Those are your brand features. I said I am in poultry. How am I transporting my chickens? Are they arriving at, because I sell to restaurants, are they arriving at a restaurant looking like they've really been beaten? They are squashed, they are not very clean. No. My brand is important, because that is what will determine if that client will continue buying from me. If I appreciate Remember, we said identify and appreciate your stakeholders. If I appreciate, they also have a challenge, okay? And I can reduce my price a little, but make sure I sell them when they are packed properly, when they are clean, they have been cleaned. It may not cost me as much, but it will make a difference to my customer. It will make a difference to my clients. And above all, what does it do? It makes my brand go higher. Okay, what is the costing? So this is the five facet or the diamond that you need to look at it before you decide to price your things. Basically, what we are saying is this crisis, it's a health crisis. It has brought a lot of anxiety, but it has also changed the market. Wafanyi biashara, tafadhalini, analyze it again. Analyze it for you to be able to grow. As you are looking at your distribution, how are you selling? A few minutes ago, I said, I do restaurants. So restaurants at some point were closed. So what did I do? I needed to sell to households. Okay? So I changed my model. What about your model? Who are you going to sell to? Okay? For example, I was reading yesterday, and I'm talking specifically to agrovets here. Sometimes as an agrovet, we may not be able to employ people who are really knowledgeable, okay? This is the time you want to train your people so that your people in turn can train the farmers better. This is the time you want to go out there and help the farmers, because without the farmers, our business is also in trouble. This is the time I was reading, there's a lady who has been selling, and she goes from farm to farm. Or you can have a market day. They may not be in existence. Market days may not be there everywhere due to COVID. Lakini, you can talk to the people that buy from you. You can ask them what challenges do they have, and you try and solve their challenges. By solving your clients' challenges, your clients become loyal to you. So here you want to look at distribution is about being dependent on each other, and then together you participate in a distribution process. So as a farmer, you can sell directly, but as a farmer...
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and try your call again. Thank you.
Haggai, is that me? Hello?
No, I don't think that's you. I don't know. Let me check.
Okay, so basically as a farmer or as an agrovet or as a transporter, because a transporter, you are part of the value chain. How can you guys, how can you collaborate together in order to create economies of scale, to create a bigger product, and you are able to sell? For example, you are able to sell to a supermarket, because a supermarket may not want to buy from one person. A supermarket may want quantities that an individual farmer may not be able to manage. How do we promote? Now, distribution is directly linked to the promotion. When we are talking about the promotion, there is a lot of agricultural products being sold online nowadays.
Your call cannot be completed.
You as an individual farmer, you as an agrovet, you as a person that sells machinery, you need to be where the eyes are. So where are the eyes? People have been at home. So what do? They go on the internet. That is something you may want to look at. Okay? Where do your customers shop? I am one person who believed firmly, I'm old school. I needed to go to the market. I needed to touch my tomato. I needed to choose. But now things are different. I'm not able to go to the market anywhere. So what do? I'll either buy online on WhatsApp or go to the supermarket very early in the morning. What it basically means, as an individual farmer, you may need to explore the possibility of collaborating with other people. But one thing for sure, you must be reliable, the person you want to work with, and there must be consistency for you people to work together. Now, my last tip for the day is about accessing finance. This is one challenge that is there. Money, hakuna pesa. Cash flow has been reduced. Liquidity has been reduced. And for us to be able to grow, we need that liquidity. We need to have that money for us to pay, for us to buy inputs, for us to be able to send, to be able to grow. The previous tip, ladies and gentlemen, this was about you creating a relationship with your clients. Help them to succeed so that they are also will help you, they will remember you, they will be with you. Okay? One thing for sure, as borders are closed, one of the opportunities is that we cannot import, isn't it? I have a farmer in Wasingishu who used to import in Tanga. But when COVID came, they realized instead of importing from Tanga, they can actually grow themselves and they can value add. So a whole industry grew out of chilies. They grow their own chilies and they process their own chilies. Now we want to look at how do you access to the market. And for you to be able to access to the market, you will need to promote. For you to be able to promote and for you to take advantage of this new opportunity, you will actually need new financing, you will need liquidity. So allow me to ask you, okay, just one question. What will you do if you were to get extra financing today? Today, Coop Bank says, this is an open check. I'm going to give you this money. Tell me, what will you do with this money? Kindly put it in the chat box. What will you do with extra financing? You guys don't want money. I have a blank check. What are you going to do with this money? Haggai, anything from YouTube?
Nothing yet, Fatma.
Now, do I understand that people don't want money? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bonabwire. Okay, I will enhance my online marketing. Very good. What else? Kindly tell us, what do you want to do with this extra financing? Okay, I will buy new products, I will build, I will expand my product variety, because remember, if you only had one variety, this is the time that you may want to expand. Now, one thing I will say.
Fatma?
Yes, please.
Yes, sorry for the interruption. On YouTube, Godfrey, I would increase working capital with extra finances, Peter Wakaba, diversify my businesses, Francis Onyalo, consider value addition and rebranding. And then lastly, Nancy Nduta, get an open check, can add my stock and do more marketing. Over to you, Fatma.
Thank you, Haggai, and thank you very much. And I like what Gwire is also telling me. I want to add stock and I want to create diverse delivery modules. Thank you very much. Now, allow me to tell you, can you please spend that money before you get it? Why am I saying that? Because when you are very, very clear about what you want to do with that money, by the time the money hits your account, it goes to where it was intended to go. If we are not razor sharp clear about where this money should go, you know what would happen? It will start going to other places. And then, of course, you will be left with a loan, and then you did not spend it, or at least not fully spend it to what it was meant to have been done. Now, you also need to look at what would be the expected returns so that you can actually start examining yourself before you go to the bank. Ask yourself these tough questions. Now, the other thing that I would like us to look at, which basically we also need to understand, we need to understand the lenders. Okay, I've spoken about an open check here, but what would the lenders consider before they give you money? If you recall, if your spouse or your child or somebody or sibling came and asked for 100,000 from you, surely, utawauliza, what will they do with that money? Now, bankers, financiers will equally ask you those questions. And the first thing they would look at is what we are calling the 5 C's of lending. They want to see the character. What sort of a person are you? When yule mtu ulikuwa unakimbia na pesa za watu? Or are you somebody where money enters your account, by the afternoon or by the following day, there is nothing there because you've taken everything? So they will look at your character. They would look at the history. How was money moving in and out of your account? They will also look at the collateral. Okay, what will you keep in order to be able to get that money? What we are saying is keep other collateral, but not the cow that gives you the milk if you are in the dairy industry. What is your capacity to pay? Are you able to pay? Previously, did you have a loan? Did you pay them at that particular time? Because all this is what the bank will look at before they give you that money. They are cognizant of the conditions. They are cognizant of COVID. And of course, the bank also wants you to grow. They want you to be able to repay. And of course, if I'm asking for 10 million, for example, or 5 million, what are you putting in as capital yourself? Because businesses that have put in something always will be able to repay because you have a personal stake in the amount of money that you are asking for. Now, having looked at all this, before you even go to the bank, ask yourself these questions. Assess yourself. What value are you going to give? What is it are you going to get? How will you spend the money? And how will you repay that money? These are the questions that the bank is going to ask. Now that I'm talking about money, allow me to call upon Bwana Moses so that Bwana Moses can take us through and tell us this money that I'm talking about, how are we going to access that money? Bwana Moses, over to you, please.
Thank you, Fatma. And I think we go straight to Esther. Esther, Cooperative Bank, will share with us that part. From Esther, we'll go straight to James, then Joseph. Esther, over to you. Esther, are you on the call?
Good morning, Moses. Here is Mary. Mary Achini. Yes, on behalf of Esther, I'll take us through the presentation. I would like to thank everyone that is in this meeting. Moses, you are saying something?
Go through it quickly.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you so much. So I'll start by introducing Cooperative Bank. Cooperative Bank is a cooperative bank that was formed by cooperative societies, mainly farmers' cooperative societies, to be able to provide financial services to themselves because then they could not be able to access financial services. So our department mainly takes care of the cooperative societies that are in agricultural production, and it's our core mandate to ensure that we come up with solutions that support them in accessing all the factors of production in the various value chain that they play in, or the various crops that they produce. So we look through the entire value chain to ensure that we are able to provide solutions to the farmers organized in cooperative societies, because that is the model that we are able to access smallholder farmers through, so that they are able to aggregate all the needs that they have in terms of financial needs that they have, and then we are able to come up with solutions that will meet these needs. So the bank was incorporated in 1965 and got banking license in 1968. It was listed in Nairobi Stock Exchange in 2008. Cooperative Bank is owned 64% by cooperative movement and 35.5% by individual shareholders through Nairobi Stock Exchange. Our branch network is over 160 branches in all the 47 counties. So wherever you go in every county, you find a representation of the bank. Next.
No, it's okay. Sorry.
So, what is the future of agriculture in Kenya? Africa food market by 2030 is expected to be a 1.5 trillion US dollar, and the contributors to the above is raising food prices and raising population. So the world population is raising, and therefore there is need for food, and even the government itself, their first pillar in ensuring that the population gets food secure, and it's a mandate that is ran and it's taken very, very seriously by the government of Kenya to ensure that there is food security in the country. So all of us here, we are all looking at that particular pillar, and we are contributing towards it in ensuring that we provide the agro dealers, ensure that the farmers get the farm inputs that are required. The financiers are here to ensure that they get the financing that they require to access these farm inputs and also pay for labor, and also be able to manage post-harvest losses that may come in the process of production. So we all play a very key role in ensuring that we support the government in achieving this objective of food security, and also improving livelihoods of the farmers, and also through that improvement of livelihood, our businesses also thrive. So it is the farmer that is really supporting us along the value chain. How do we finance this market? That is the question that we always ask ourselves when we wake up, to ensure that we have solutions that are able to meet the needs of this very important group a group of people in business that is really supporting a very big population in terms of providing food and also providing employment to many of us. How do we finance these food needs? How do we ensure that the people that need the food are able to access safe food, clean food, and food that is constantly available when they need it? We need to lay down agricultural financing systems, and that is what we as a bank are keenly looking at, ensuring that we have an agricultural financing system that does not break along the value chain. That is why we are looking at the farm input suppliers being the people that are beginning with the farmer. The moment they need a seed, the seed is available at the right time and in the right quality and in the right time that the farmers need it. So the macro challenges that the farmers experience are lack of friendly available sectoral statistics to enable informed decisions, lack of access to forecast meteorological information that would help the financials project and risk yield, etc., establishment of government-led or owned guarantee schemes to create confidence in lending. As you know, we have a lot of challenges when it comes to financing the agricultural sector, both in managing the risks and also being able to get the required data to be able to come up with solutions that really meet the needs. Other challenges include weather uncertainties, lack of skills and technical know-how, lack of availability of certain market and certainty in prices, lack of access to quality inputs and seeds, lack of business literacy and contracting, lack of collateral. So most of the farmers will have challenges being able to get all these for them to be able to access finance. So how do we navigate against these challenges? What we've done is that we've come up with partnerships that help farmers, for instance, be able to forecast weather and be able to plant at the right time. We've also come up with partnerships that will help buy down risks so that the farmers are able to have access to affordable credit and also be able to meet the collateral needs that farmers may need. So with this understanding that the agriculture sector is unique due to the producers who comprise of small-scale farmers, low literacy, and who depend on rain-fed agriculture, we tailor-make the financing, especially geared to supporting the farmers through the cooperatives so as to maximize on the economies of scale as well as risk distribution. So if you have experience actually trying to supply farm input to individual smallholders, you agree with me it is quite costly when you have to visit individual farmer for them to be able to access farm input. Same applies to us as a bank looking for one individual farmer to finance. It's also a challenge. So that's why we use the cooperative model so that we are able to bring them together and be able to provide services in an affordable manner. So the finances that we have in place are long-term financing, that is for capex, and land purchase of machinery for agro-processing and value addition. This is through a cooperative society model. We also finance primary production, that is land preparation, crop management, harvest and post-harvest management. So we look through the entire production process to ensure that the farmer does not lack finances at whatever level they are in. Sorry, I've not finished with the previous presentation, slide.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Are we there?
Yes, we are there. So we have short-term financing, that is working capital financing, to bridge the gap between harvest and cash conversion period, and also facilitate marketing for local and exports. We also support them in purchase of farm inputs. Thank you. Next slide, please.
Okay.
So the sectors that we are mainly financing include dairy sector. Under dairy sector, we do dairy farm input finance. This is where we are able to finance farmers in cooperative societies and union to be able to buy animal feeds, fertilizers for pasture, medicine, and AI services to boost milk production. We also do farm mechanization finance, where we are able to finance farmers to improve their production at the farm level, where they're able to access small farm implements and be able to do quality farm preparations, and also be able to do like for instance, be able to assess assets that they may need for mobility in the farm, and also small equipment such as chaff cutters, milk cans, milk machine, and many other farm implements that farmers may require. We also do supply chain finance to enable dairy farmers, cooperative societies, and companies to pay for the work in progress, farmers, and other creditors on time. So we ensure that there is flow of cash for those that are taking the milk from the farmers, so that they are able to ensure that farmers get cash whenever they need it. We also finance dairy processing plants to enable dairy companies or farmer cooperative societies to establish dairy processing plant and do repairs on an existing dairy plant. We are also in tea sector. Financing is usually designed for small-scale farmers who own tea farms and supply their produce to various tea factories, either in KTDA or non-KTDA factories. The product is designed to enable farmers to purchase farm inputs, pay labor, and finance household needs. We are also financing a lot of tea processing. Where the farmers organized either in companies or cooperative societies are able to establish their tea factories and do repairs on the existing tea factories. We also do supply chain under the same. So we are also in a coffee sector doing the same farm inputs, factory repairs, and also mechanization. So all the products along value chains addresses the needs of farm inputs, supply chain, and factory establishments or buying of equipment that are required. Next slide. Hello. Hello.
Fatima,
Yes,
Oh, you can hear
move to
me?
the next slide.
yes, I can.
The next slide, please. So, our support to the agro dealers and suppliers is that we've come up with solutions to take care of the needs of the people that play within this, or the business people that are playing along this supply chain, that is of farm inputs and other equipment that the farmers require in their farm. And we have distributor stock finance through various established MOUs with various land suppliers, manufacturers. The bank finances distributors and stockists on a distributor financing arrangement. We offer bank guarantees in favor of suppliers to enable the agro dealers access goods on credit terms. We also support importation through commodity finance and letters of credit. The bank facilitates importation from overseas suppliers using trade finance instruments that will ensure shipment as well as payment to the suppliers. So we have a number of partners that we've partnered with. So this is the distributor finance transaction flow, where the distributor issues a purchase order to the supplier, and the supplier delivers stock to the distributor. The distributor then also distributes to the stockists or retailers, and the payment is made to the distributor. Then the bank is left to pay the anchor so that you continue with the distribution without worrying where the funds will come from. And then on the maturity or the loan account is settled. So this is how the flow of the funds between the suppliers and the distributors, and the bank does the transaction in terms of payment.
Thank you, my dear. Bwana Moses, over to you.
James to take over, and just to link with what Mary has said in terms of now the specific offer to the specific offer to the MSMEs who are here now. What then do we have to offer? Linking all the what Mary has said. James, over to you.
Thank you very much, Moses and Mary, Fatma. So, who are MSMEs? MSMEs are micro, small, and medium enterprises. And as a bank, this support that we are committing to all MSMEs during this season. Number one, we'll be giving additional funding. So if you require additional funding, visit any of our branches across the country. Loan restructures and loan holidays. If you have a facility with us, tightly and you are struggling, or you need our support, visit any of our branches and we will support you. Relationship management, we have relationship managers in all our branches who are there to hold you and support you in every financial need. In terms of also information, we have MSME online portal, website, and social media. This is where we disseminate information to you. We know you are very important in the field. Farmers visit shops, or you go to the field and educate them. And that's why Moses had said earlier, you are very key in making sure that as a country, we achieve the pillar of food security and nutrition. Then also we have these webinars, whereby we also disseminate information so that we can keep you equipped. Thank you. How do we segment MSME? Because I know they cut across. We have micro enterprises, we have small enterprises and medium enterprises. For micro enterprises, these are customers who are doing annual sales turnovers of up to 10 million. This means per month, we are doing up to 833 million. For small enterprises, these are customers who are doing between 10 million to 100 million, and medium enterprises, these are customers who are doing annual sales turnovers of above 100 million. And we have solutions for each segment, and we call them MSME packages. Number one, if you are at the micro enterprise segment, we have a bouquet. We call it bronze package. And number one, we support you with unsecured facility of up to 1 million on mobile phone. You just go to your mobile phone, you get up to 1 million. Number two, we give you free personal accident cover of up to 100,000. We enable to transact digitally through online. And most important, because I know the employees that we are having, we really need to retain them. We offer them loans. This is where if they open an account with us and you start having their salaries being paid through us, even if you have only one, we'll be supporting them with e-credit loans, meaning now you'll be having more satisfied customers. If you had a silver package, in terms of unsecured facility, you have unsecured facility of up to 6 million. Without any security. What is required here, bank free with us, we use those cash flows to determine the limit, up to 6 million without requesting anything. Free personal accident, up to 500. There we don't charge you anything. It's us who offer that. Then in terms of checkbooks, the first checkbook that we give, if you are at this package of 100 leaves, it's free. So, and also you have dedicated relationship. If I go to the gold customer, the gold for the medium segment, if you transact fully with us, number one, you have unsecured facility of up to 10 million Kenya shillings without any security. We don't charge you any cash handling. So pass all your money in, out, no cash handling fee. You also enjoy executive services. And of course, we have dedicated relationship managers who will be working with you in this journey. So as Fatima had highlighted, we will support you through sales growth, and also in terms of supporting your employees, and in terms of also making sure that you manage your stock properly. And this is the way we go about it. Number one, in terms of motivating you, I know if you hit your targets in terms of sales on time, you earn bonuses, rebates, and discounts. And we are ready to support you to have this by providing financial solutions, that is the working capitals and also the distributor financing that Mary had highlighted. In addition to that, I know you can have money. You are supposed to deposit by today. And if branches are closed, you may not be able now to get that bonus, because if you don't hit the deadline, then you miss that. So we have alternative payment solutions whereby you can transact 24/7. In terms of motivating staff, as I had highlighted, we have e-credit for the employees, and also you have online banking, whereby even the employees themselves, they can transact. You don't need to leave your place of work to go and get the salary. You can be able to pay them digitally, and then they can be able to transact digitally while still working. In terms of facilitating mobility, I know you usually go and visit customers in the field, and also you have stock whereby you buy, sell, so you require stock movement. And Joseph Diongo will also talk more about asset finance solutions. In terms of encouragement of importation, we support you through what we call import duty financing. Why do we do this? We want you to have a variety of goods in your shops so that our farmers can benefit, and then also reduce stock shortages. So we have import duty financing, and in addition to that, we have other trade finance solutions. We also provide international exposures, whereby we take customers outside the country so that at least they can know where we can be getting their stock from. In addition to that, we also in terms of diversification so that we can reduce the concentration risk. In your, other than just the agro items, we can also support you so that you can have our agency, or you can also have our POS, and we are ready to support. In terms of training needs, I know we usually train farmers and other distributors, and also in terms of stock management, we really need a lot of training, because I know we usually, as business people, entrepreneurs, we usually have losses due when our stock expires. So we usually support. We will support you with education on the same. In terms of fund transfer, we have safe and secure channels. We have online, whereby you can be able to transact 24/7. We have Lipa na M-Pesa, we have M-Correction, we have all those solutions. What you only need to do is call us or walk to any of our nearest branch, and you get this solution. And it is part of the packages I highlighted for you, the one that we had bronze for micro, silver for the small enterprise, and gold for the medium enterprise. And of course, you provide distinctive customer experience, because I know you are busy. You need quick turnaround time. When you visit our branches or when you go to our channels, you don't want to waste time. So we will support you on that and I know also you require efficient channels. We support you with the relationship managers, executive centers, and reliable systems. So that's what we have in summary. But if you need more than this, kindly visit any of our branches, and we are there to support you. I will invite Joseph Diongo to take us through what I had mentioned about how do we facilitate mobility in terms of as individual and also as stock. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, James. Hagai and IFC team and our customers who are in Paul. My name is Joseph Thiongo. I'm pleased to take you through on asset finance. And basically what we do here is enable customer acquire movable assets. This could be the vehicles that you need to move your products from from the factory, or maybe you want to do the delivery to the customers, and also even the equipment finance or machinery, where you would also like to maybe manufacture this particular product. So that's where the asset finance comes in. And what are the advantage? One of the key advantage is cash flow management. Instead of buying these particular capital items using the working capital, asset finance comes in to help you acquire these particular assets. You only pay a small down payment, and the balance you're able to pay in easy monthly installments. And with that kind of a repayment plan, it means that the same assets is actually generating enough revenue to be able to pay for these particular loans. The other advantage is they are self-securing, which means you don't have to provide security. And the Fatuma mentioned one of the challenges SME face is access to finance due to lack of collateral. So asset finance, they are self-securing facility. You don't have to provide additional collateral. It's a very easy process, which means even the documentation is very simple. So within a very short period of time, you are able to acquire these particular assets. So what we have done is even to make it to make the value proposition even better, we have come together with various equipment and the supplier of these particular vehicles to come up with a very comprehensive, very compelling schemes, which I'm going to take you through. We have the first scheme we have is with Isuzu. These are suppliers of Isuzu vehicles. In the scheme, we have the pickups, we have the light trucks, we have even the heavy trucks, just to enable you to move your products. And the value proposition we have is we are financing up to 95% of the vehicle, which means you only pay a 5% down payment. We have a repayment holiday, which means from the time we have disbursed a loan, we've given you a holiday of that 60 days. Normally we have 30 days, but under this particular scheme is extended to 60 days. On top of the vehicle, you'll be eligible to access working capital of 500,000. So we finance you 95%. You give you a grace period of 60 days, and on top of that, you have access to about 500,000. The payment is extended to 60 months, which means your monthly installment will be very manageable, and you without interfering with the working capital. And again, we have negotiated a comprehensive insurance package with CIC. It has several benefits, and the rate is very competitive at 4.75%. So we have entered the similar scheme with the Simba Colt. Here we are looking at 3 vehicles. That is Mitsubishi L200 pickup. We also have the light trucks, the FI trucks and FJ and even the tippers. So you'll enjoy the same benefit as Isuzu. Same as Toyota, we have the single cab and also even the Hino trucks. Again, you'll enjoy the same benefits. We have also entered a scheme with Nissan Kenya. These are the Nissan hardbody. And again, you'll enjoy the same benefit, but the working capital under this particular scheme is 300,000. So I think we can move on to the next slide. So the other scheme we have is Tata. And here you're looking at the Tata tippers and also the pickups. For the tippers is up to 90%. For the pickups, we are financing up to 90% as well. And you can see the terms there, repayment up to 48 months, and also very competitive interest rates. and also the appraisal fee, and also the same as insurance package. I think the unique feature for the Agro, you're looking at financing the machinery, equipment and machinery. So here we are looking at financing up to 80% of the cost, and also you can repayment is from 36 to 60 months, depending on the type of the machinery and equipment that you would like to be financed. We also have a special package for tractors finance scheme. Here we have entered into a scheme with various dealers. We have Toyota who sell the case tractors, the New Holland, Sami, and FMD. We are financing up to 60%, and also if you want with the implements, financing is up to 70%, and again extended the payment period up to 60 months. For the case tractor, we also have an additional scheme. If you pay 50% down payment and repay the loan within 12 months, you can actually enjoy a zero interest rebates at this particular package. So those are some of the schemes at a high level that we have just to enable you acquire these particular vehicles. And therefore, they will support you in terms of movement, in terms of mobility. If it's equipment, they will help you in terms of manufacturing. And on top of this, the other benefit we have is insurance premium finance. So we'll help you finance the asset, and also we have another product where we help you also pay for the premiums. So in case you are not able to pay the premium at once, we have negotiated with several insurance companies to finance the premiums, and you're able to pay in easy monthly installments up to a maximum of 10 months. And also we have bank assurance that also would help you, in terms of negotiating different covers with different insurance companies. So under Asset Finance, we're able to offer a comprehensive financing solution, including the vehicle, machinery, insurance premium, and also the arrangement through the bank assurance to make sure that you get the maximum value. And I think that is it from me in terms of asset finance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mo. What is the action? We are requesting all of us to visit and also engage our relationship managers to be onboarded or migrated to the MSME packages that I had highlighted. The reason why I'm really insisting on this, for us to benefit from the distributed thing, this asset finance, even mortgages, import finance that I had highlighted, we need to be in these MSME packages so that now we can have everything that we are having as a bank, and give everything that we are having as a bank. Number two, you need to leverage on our payment or transaction solutions to continuously bank and make payments. We go online, we have correction, we have e-commerce, we have all those solutions that will support you so that there is no need of even leaving your place of business to visit a branch. You can be able to do everything while still doing the sales. Then also, in addition to that, identify available business opportunities and raise new or additional funding needs with your relationship manager. We are ready to support you. That's why at the beginning I had said, at this time, we are ready to support you more financially. Open, if you are a new customer, not with us, open an account with us. Join these packages and we'll be able to support you. If you have been with us, come and we can give you additional funding. In addition to that, in case you have any challenge, kindly engage the branch manager near you or the relationship manager near you so that we can be able to support you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Moses.
Thank you. James and Joseph. I think Haggai, we could take a few questions in terms of any questions coming through feedback. And as we go to that, just to emphasize the support, the commitment from Cooperative Bank in terms of supporting our customers. And those who are not banking with us, we invite you to bank with us. We are willing to support. Please ensure that you talk to your relationship manager, to your branch manager. You are invited to join the MSME packages, and we walk the journey together. And maybe to Haggai, and any questions coming through, and my team, Mary, James, and Joseph, please stay around to answer the questions, and of course, Fatima.
Okay, Bwana Moses, actually the questions are there. I just want to say thank you, Sana, for that very informative presentation. I would also like to thank Mary. Thank you, Mary. That was good. Bwana James, Duarte, and Joseph. That was fantastic. And I must say, these are good products. What I'm seeing here is that participants want to know what would be the interest rate as well as repayment times. Over to you, Moses.
That will be taken by Joseph. Joseph.
Sorry, Moses. Yeah, in terms of the repayment period, what we have is the repayment period up to actually 60 months, depending on the asset and depending on the vehicle models. Where we have an arrangement with the dealer, the tenor is actually up to 60 months. Most of those particular models that I've highlighted, and also even for the equipment, the repayment is extended up to 60 months. Although we have some other vehicles where it's 48, and we have others also where it's 36. But most of the vehicles that we are offering under this particular segment is 60 months.
Okay.
Was a question on interest rate?
Okay. There's another question here. Before I go to you, Haggai, is it possible to increase your supplier base in order to accommodate other models on asset financing?
Yes, yes, it's very possible, and we actually finance all the movable assets. It's only that the ones that we highlighted is where we have special arrangements in terms of price, in terms of the terms. But any other model which is not captured here, we actually financing. We also have the financing arrangement, but financing for those models where we don't have the scheme is up to 80%, which means the down payment is slightly higher at 20%, but we do finance all the models.
Okay. Before you go off, sorry, what about the bronze package? Okay, a bronze package details. What do you need for security, and what is the money given to the agro dealer and to the supplier who supplies the goods? So these are like two questions together.
I heard of that. In terms of bronze package details, that's why I had said, in terms of opening, we may have registered business or unregistered business you'll be able to open. And it is not necessary that you visit a branch. Invite any in the nearest branch that we can visit your place of work and be able to support you. And we can open your account as an enterprise, as well as also open the account for the employees, so that as you enjoy the credit solutions, even your employees can also enjoy e-credit solutions. In terms of securities, we have two facilities that are unsecured. We have, if you visit any branch, you can be able to get a secured facility, or even you can get up to 1 million just through the mobile at the bronze solution. What is expected? Bank fully with us. It's cash flow based. Transfer all your banking through us, transact through our channels, and you'll be able to get unsecured facility. What if now you want even more than 1 million? We can use even chattels, vehicles, household goods, and even for very high amounts at abroad, we can also use title deeds. So we are ready to support, and we are flexible based on your need. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Bwana Nduati. Can I go to YouTube, Haggai? What questions do you have there?
Many thanks, Fatma. So there is a question, rather there are questions here. William Gitonga is asking whether Coop Bank is financing second-hand assets or used assets like motor vehicles. I think we can tackle that as I sift through the other questions. Over to you. I don't know whether Nduati you would want to take that.
Yes, besides the new vehicles, we actually finance used vehicles. These are both private and commercial. For used vehicles, the financing is up to 70%. So which means clients will be required to pay 30%, and the repayment period is 48 months for the used vehicle. For private, we also have arrangement with some of the dealers where we can even facilitate direct importation from the source market. We have partnered with World Navy, so you have option of either buying local, or we can facilitate you to do direct importation of those particular vehicles. Yes, so the answer is yes, we finance both new and used vehicles. And there was a question on interest rate, which I did not answer. So currently, our pricing for this particular loans is 13% for both used and new. 13% reducing balance per annum.
Okay, many thanks. Some more questions. So there is a suggestion here that could Coop Bank consider reactivating or opening a branch at Taveta? I think the client is using the Voi branch, and they're saying logistically it is a challenge. There is another question from Ben Kisa. So Ben Kisa is asking, they already have an asset finance with Coop. What if they're interested in getting a second asset with Coop Bank? Peter Wakaba is suggesting that if you could increase your agro companies to give them more flexibility as and when they are sourcing for products from agro companies. Last question from Geoffrey. What is the protocol for acquiring finances to support agro business? Over to you. I think we can tackle those. One last one. Will I get working capital without deposit or security? Over to you.
Okay, I'll go for asset finance. I think the question is if we can finance more than one asset concurrently. Yes. So it all depends on ability to be able to pay the two loans. So yes, we are able to finance more than one asset at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. There was a question on increasing the agro dealers.
Okay, this Duarte. Yes, we are partnering. We have what Mary had highlighted about distributor financing, and already we have partnered with several companies, and we are still pricing or reaching out to others so that we can have a variety. Already we have Yara, we have utilities, we have Baraka fertilizers, we have Uga, we have Bear, among others. So yes, we are doing that. And already we have started doing business with the ones that I have highlighted. Then, in addition to that, in terms of working capital, there was a question whereby somebody had raised whether one can get working capital without security. Yes. Number one, as long as you are transacting with us, this is what we are calling cash flow based financing. We can give you working capital. I've said that we can give you a secured facility of up to 10 million without any security. If you are the silver, that we can give you up to 6 million. And then under micro, we can give you even up to 1 million on mobile, because we want to make your work easy. So yes, we are able to do that. Bank fully with us will give you everything you want in terms of financing, not only term loans, it includes even overdrafts. So those remix includes term loans as well as overdrafts. Thank you.
Haggai, have you finished your questions?
Maybe I think there was a comment on opening a branch in Taveta. Otherwise, I'm good. I can hand it over to you, Fatma.
Oh, thank you. I have one more question, and it's an interesting one. It also comes from Taita. We are a group of farmers, and we have, as you, Fatma, you've said, we've collaborated, and now we are going to value addition. We have collected money from all the farmers, and we now want to buy the machinery. Will Co-op Bank work with the cooperative? We are a group of 1,000 farmers. Hello.
Yes, thank you, Fatima. I'll handle that. I think there was a section I explained on equipment and machinery finance. Yes, and this value proposition, we're actually financing individual clients, we are financing the farmers, the groups, the circles. So it depends on the entity coming as. So yes, we'll be able to to be able to support them.
There was a question about opening a branch in Taveta. Feedback taken. Thank you for that.
In fact, the farmers are also from Taita Taveta. There are about 1,000 of them, and they're saying they've already gone into a society. They want to now go into value addition, into agro processing. So they would need a bank to help them through this journey. Okay.
Thank you. Feedback taken. However, now we have several agents in Taita Taveta, but yes.
Start with the agents.
Exactly. We have.
Oh, that's okay.
Fatma.
Yes, please.
We could also link them to a nearest branch there, that is Voi. But you've taken the feedback of the need of a branch in Taita. But our branch in Voi could also serve them for now. Needs the financing needs, any other need, and if they drop their contact, we will pass it over to our branch manager Voi to visit them.
In fact, I will do even better. I will just tell them to contact Voi.
Yes.
And in case of anything, they can get in touch with Wananduati.
Yes.
And they can take it up from there, because I think being 1,000 farmers, they need to organize themselves and then come to you guys.
And maybe to add on to it is to say that we are the cooperative bank. None of any other financial institutions in the country understands cooperative bank better than cooperative bank, and we are owned by the cooperative movement. We do offer even training to them for free. So ask them to visit our branch. We have much more that we can do. We actually is a segment that we understand more than any other segment as a bank.
Actually, I'm getting excited because Moses tutaenda na wewe. I will just tell them. I will link them up. They've written to me privately, but I know them. Okay. Asanteni sana. Do we have any other questions, Haggai?
Yes, so there is one very interesting, and I think Moses, this will, and James, this will excite you. Our client is saying here, can you buy a loan from another bank if I join your bank, so I continue working with you? There's a comment here. I think these are compliments. Thanks, Scope Bank. I visited your Eldoret branch yesterday, and I was warmly welcomed by Asset Finance team. Over to you, Moses or James.
Thank you very much. In terms of can you buy a loan from another bank? Yes, we will be able to buy and also give you more money. Give you additional financing. Welcome.
Oh, I have another one. This is very, very interesting, and I think we're not going to go away, but I like it. I am a vet, and we have our microfinance. So they have needs, veterinary needs, and I'm happy to report here I've worked with Kenya Veterinary Association. They want to know if you will be able to liaise with KVA and also fund a vet within KVA. Will this be Nduati or yes, please?
Yes, we do that. We can get even more customers from now the Kenya Veterinary Association or even the KVB.
So can I ask them to get in touch with you? They need the contacts of who to be working with.
Exactly. We will share the contacts.
So can we share the contact now so that they can get in touch with you, or how do we do it?
Yes. Share, Fatima.
Okay, kindly share in the chat box so that Baraka and the other gentlemen can take up the contact. Kindly share your contact so that they can take it up and get in touch with you. Want the contacts maybe of the relationship manager at your head office, so that they can link up. So we need contacts in Voi, we need contacts at head office. They said there are 8,000 animal health workers, and they all need to have your contact so that they can come.
Sharing now.
Okay. So head office, Kilifi. Do you have a branch in Kilifi?
Yes, we do.
Okay, kuna mtu wa Kilifi, kuna mtu wa Taita. You give me Voi and you give me head office.
Tutakupa za head office, eh?
Okay, sawa.
Saizi tu tukupa za head office. Then you link,
yes, please.
Then we link. They will engage us. We link them to the branches.
Sawa. Thank you. So Baraka, kindly get in touch. Mwaburi, please take the contact. I think that's a good one. Asante and Nduati, I can see that. Great.
The head office team will link you. Link them with the branches.
Ah, okay. Any more questions, Hagai? Ama tunaweza?
Yes, Fatma, I think there are some few that we can't close out. This should be Govin. So yes, Govin is saying there is rumor going around that because of COVID-19, banks don't issue new loans. So they're asking whether that is true. William is asking that if you can kindly demonstrate repayability of a movable asset worth 2 million.
Sorry, Haggai. Can Baraka please do not annotate. They are drawing on the board. Continue, please.
Okay, sorry. Let me just. I don't know how he's able to share their screen. I disabled that, but anyhow, kindly Baraka, if you can unshare. So the question goes, William wanted to know, rather wanted to cop feedback just to demonstrate if he's looking for a 2 million for over 60 months. So how much would be the repayment? He's saying he's just worried about the hidden costs. Otherwise, those are the questions from YouTube. Over to you.
Moses, I have another question here. Can the bank consider creating products to target youth, women, and persons with disabilities? I believe this is a proposal.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I would want Thiongo to handle the case of the 2 million facility. Maybe Thiongo, as I have of youth, women, and persons with disability.
For asset finance, if you borrow 2 million, which is net finance amount, the projected installment would be 45,506. That's what you need to pay per month, and that is inclusive of principal plus interest. The only other additional cost there is 1%, the appraisal fee, and of course the comprehensive insurance, which we have negotiated a package at 4.75% of the total cost of the asset. So we don't have the hidden fees. We are very transparent, and we'll even have what we call total cost of credit, which will print all the other costs which are there, just to show you the transparency of those particular costs. Yes, but projected is 45,506.
Now, to the youth, women, and persons with disabilities, starting with the women, we have a special product called Musamaria targeting women, specifically women in business. And I think if you visit any of our branches, as an MSME, that facility is available to you. Musamaria Women's Solution. I think once you go there, say talk of Musamaria Women's Loan is available. You're also eligible into any other banking solution that based on your need. But you have a specific one for women. For youth, you have a specific one for youth called DEA. Actually, we start not at youth. We start at the young age, the Jumbo Junior. For the young ones, from the ages of to 18, where the account is operated by the guardian of the parent as a savings account. That is available. After that, we go to account. That goes with the youth, the people in university, in colleges, up to early adulthood. And I think it also comes in as a transactional account that also qualifies for several other solutions, including if they're employed, they can qualify for a salary loan. If they're in business, they can qualify for the facilities that we talked of earlier, the working capital, the investment capital, all the facilities that we talked of earlier, you can qualify under that. Persons with disability, I think one of the initiatives you want to run and I know this has been put out in the public, the Kenya Institute of Bankers, is that we are one of the banks that have been selected by the Institute of Bankers and the government. I think we are 7 banks who are participating in a product for persons with disability. However, for now, in terms of the solutions that we offer them as the solutions just based on the other kind of offering. But there is a specific solution that we are coming up through a pilot that we want to run with the Kenya Bankers Association and the government. And this will be done electronically, but we are saying also the other solutions are available to them based on the need, be they in business, be they in employment. The other solutions are also available to them. So in terms of that coverage then, Fatuma, I can say we have adequately covered everybody in the country.
And that's very, very well done, asanteni sana. In fact, for me, to be very honest, today, because we have a lot of which honestly we should be taking advantage of so that we can manage our businesses and make sure that we are able to thrive beyond COVID. We have overshot the time, lakini ni sawa because we started about 10 minutes late. It has been a very, very useful discussion. So I would like first and foremost to appreciate na kuambia wafanyi biashara asanteni sana for joining us. We don't take your presence here for granted. Tunajua you have so many other things to do, and yet you have opted to be with us. So we really, really appreciate that. I would also like to appreciate the entire team from IFC for being with us during this journey. And above all, last but definitely not least, Moses and your team, your entire team, for being here with us, for demystifying what we can do. And together, tutaweza. Together, we shall beat this COVID, and we will be able to grow not only as a people, but the country as well. Kwa hivyo mimi nasema asanteni sana. Thank you so much, Haggai. You are such a pleasure to work with. And if there is no other comment or questions, we can now call it a day, and people can leave at their own leisure. Asanteni sana. Haggai?
Fat.
Sure.
Yes, please. Yes, Moses.
Allow me to say that we'll post all these materials in the CoBank website and the MSME website, just for our customers to access. We'll share whatever we have shared with our branches. So just as a step, you may need to visit your branches to pick up to see the materials that whatever you have discussed today and any other information that perhaps you require from the bank. We have several other materials on the MSME portal on the about. This is the 10th webinar that you have been running, and I believe they can benefit our customers here in terms of the issues that you have covered all through the 10 webinars that we've done through this year. So just visit the portal for you to get that information. And thank you so much. God bless you.
Asante, God bless you too, Moses and James and Mary and Joseph and Haggai. Asanteni.
Thank you, Fatma.
Thank you, Fatma.
I'll
Bye.
now close the meeting.